Hi, I'm back. It's been a while. Few things going on, so yeah, this has sort of not been at the top of the list priority wise, but now I think I can do it. Do a few more videos to try and help you guys out. So today's one is going to be on the Stihl MS151. I'm getting broken handles on these machines quite regularly, and I believe it's a job that you can do if you've got somewhere you can repair stuff and a few bits and pieces tool wise. I don't see a reason why you couldn't do it. So I'm going to do a quick video showing you how I do it as thoroughly as possible, and fingers crossed, yeah, you'll be able to do it yourself. In the sequence I do it in, okay? As you can see, this is a saw that's not in use at the moment, so I'm just using it as a bit of a donor. I'll put it back together today just for this purpose, okay? So let's pretend this handle's broken. As I always say, nice clean bench and photos. When you're stripping something down, don't be afraid, obviously, to take a few photos. So let's take this handle half off and see what we've got inside. And these are not that complicated compared to some of the machines that we work on. Okay, so that pops in there. So it's one throttle rod, throttle trigger, trigger interlock, and your control. Okay, so like I say, when you take that off, take a photo or look at this and away you go. So we can get rid of all of that now without any worries. Okay, air filter cover. I prefer to take the choke lever off when this is all rigid, okay, the carb's being held in one position. So I literally just get a sharpish screwdriver, not sharp enough that it's going to stab your finger, and just prise it underneath it and just lift it out. See, just prise it underneath it and lift that off like that. Okay, then get your torques. These two hold your air filter base on and your carburetor in place. Okay, so now we can see the carburetor. It's not scary at all. We're going to take this back screw out of the AV. Okay, take that one out of the way. What I would almost definitely say to you guys is drain the petrol out of it, because you're going to take the primer out, okay, and when we release that, obviously if there's pressure in the tank, it's going to come out of there and it will cover you and wherever you're working. Okay, so in my opinion, just take the fuel out of it, and then it's a drama that you can figure about. Excuse me. So that's what I'm going to do now. You're going to find it difficult to see, but the primer has got a couple of tabs that hold it in position. When you push it in to its hole, the tabs sort of spring out, okay, as it locates. So I just get a screwdriver in there and bend the tabs back in so it pops out. Then you can get a screwdriver and it will pop out. Okay, simple as that. So that's our primer out the way now. So the only thing that's keeping that carburetor in its position is the throttle rod and the fact that it's got three locating pipes that are all pushed into position. Okay, so now all I do is I'll get again a screwdriver, a little bit of levering, nothing dramatic by any stretch. Okay, and there you go, carburetor's out. Alright, just unhook it from that throttle rod. As you see, the throttle rod gets located on that. Hope you can see that, zoom in or whatever. That's where the throttle rod gets located, and then carb out. Okay, so we can remove the rest of our bits and pieces that are located inside the handle. And then we pull our tank vent out. Okay, let's get that little beauty out. Right, the tank vent fits onto the carburetor like that. Okay, so then what you've got, if you can see this, you've got 1, 2 and a little hole there, 3 places where this carburettor has to locate when you're putting it back together. Okay, that will come a little bit more important later. So now what you've got in there, if you can see that, you can see 2 holes and a little white pipe like a connector. You should be able to see that. Okay, right, so the white push connector is on the far, as you're looking at the saw like this, it's the left hand hole in the fuel line. Okay, the left hand hole. So get some long nose pliers and pull that out. There it is, that's all it is. Okay, just a little white nylon connector. So now what we've got left is this AV. We've undone the back AV. Okay, then we've got this loop handle is attached with a screw inside there. Okay, just that. So I can undo that. There we go, it's undone. Then you've got your wiring harness in there, your 2 contacts you can see, hopefully, in there, in position. Okay. Okay, take a photo. You would have taken a photo already, just so you know that the black wire goes in first, the black contact goes in first, and then the yellow one goes on top of that in that sequence. Okay, so yellow one's going to come out first. There we go. Then the black one. Now all we're going to do, give that a bit of a wiggle. Now these are the tricky little bits. Okay, I'd like to have you round here, so that's what I might do. I'm going to stop this now, and I'm going to probably relocate the camera so you might be able to see a little bit better. Okay, might be dinner as well at the time being. Right, okay. I've moved you around. So what you can see now, hopefully, there's your 3 holes, there your fuel, that's your impulse, and that's obviously your manifold. Okay. This one and this one aren't too much of a drama. This slippery little sod is quite difficult. See this little tab on the top here? You've got like the semicircle shape with a hole in the middle. You've got like a little tab on top of it. Okay. Using a screwdriver and not a brand new razor sharp one, just ease that tab down that sits in that little recess there. Just ease it down so you're easing it out of the hole. Okay, because we want to push that one out first. Okay, that part of it, we don't want to tear that out of it. This one comes out easily, as does the manifold, but again, using a blunt flat blade screwdriver or something like that, you can just push these little bits out quite easily. Okay, so that's those 2 bits out. This one, I don't know if you can see how well you can see that. Okay, just ease it out, and there we go. All right, your 3 pipes, well, yeah, are out. So now let's imagine we've got our new handle to fit. First of all, this is a little bit of 8mm 2.8 starter cord. All right, just waz that round there like that. In my opinion, that is the pipe that you fit first when you're doing your rebuild. Okay, that one right there. Okay, and I always put a little bit of grease around that part where that's got to fit. Don't have to worry too much about the other stuff, but that bit definitely yes. I'm going to do that now. A little bit of grease. And it's not a lot. Just so it's sort of inside that hole, if you like. And then ultimately what we're trying to do is ease that in to its, oh, there goes my tea, into its hole without any fuss and drama. So like I say, a bit of grease around it and push it, and it almost falls into place with a bit of grease there. Hopefully you can see that. That's in there already, see? But a bit of grease and then just ease it in. Alright, I then pop that through there. I then connect my other two fuel lines because it's easy, personally. Look, fingers behind it. That's it, that's in. Alright, now our last one. If you push down on the handle, just get your starter cord out. Alright, hope you can see this. Oops. Get hold of your starter cord and just give that a pull. Bosh. Done. Now what's left is just reversing ourselves. Alright, so ultimately our wire harness, as I said before, you know, if you make notes, the black one goes in first because it came out last, and if this wire harness is original, which it should be, it will pretty much tell you how it goes, the shape of it. Okay, there's all nice little locators in the handle for it because Stihl are brilliant like that. So it'll all be in that handle, so you can just put them back into position like that. Look at that. And then what I would suggest now is you put that screw into the AV spring, because that holds those into position to a certain extent. Okay, definitely the black one, not so much the yellow one, but the black one definitely. Okay, so just make sure those wires are stowed correctly. It's all in place, lovely. I can reattach my loop handle, biggest screw goes in there. That's cool, super duper. So that's that. So that's the front of that handle secure. Then I'll get my screw for the back of the handle, so we know our new handle is exactly where it needs to be. Right, so now we're going to do the controls. Okay, now when I'm putting the control shaft back in, basically you want to move that spring forward with a screwdriver when you're locating this. I'll try to do it this way around. Whether I'm going to be able to do it this way around or not, I don't know. I'll tell you what, let me just do it the proper my way, and then you'll be able to see where it's supposed to be. There goes my dinner. Oh no. Right, so seconds out. Okay, so that is all in position there. Alright, you just have to lever that spring, which is attached to the black wire. Just push it forward a little bit so you can get your control shaft in position. Alright, next one, throttle trigger. Okay, if it's all come apart, you'll have a spring like that. That locates on your throttle trigger like that. Push it over that shaft, just hook that spring underneath that little hole there, then get your trigger interlock, your safety trigger. That wire locates behind that tab, so literally just push it onto that tab, into the hole, lift your trigger a little bit, and look at that, just pops in there. Lovely. Then this one, now you're just left with your throttle rod. Have I done this right around? No, the other way around, Steve, come on, come on. Throttle rod into that joint there, and then into your throttle trigger, and that's that. Okay, then before it all falls out, after you sneeze, put your handle half back on to keep it all sorted. Lovely. Alright, so now we know that that doesn't work unless that's down, so it's all pretty good in there, tidy. Put a couple of screws in to keep it all together. Happy days. Right. So, to finish this off, basically we've got to put the carburetor back in, okay? So, first of all, we're going to connect our throttle rod, okay, to our little connector in there. Okay, so that's that connected. Now we're going to put our little white pipe back where it came out of. Push that in there like that, so you can see that, hopefully. Blah blah blah. So that's cool. Okay, so now it's a matter of carburetor. Okay, our tank vent fits onto the carburetor on that pipe there. Okay, and now what we're looking at is being able to push 1, 2, 3 pipes, and two pipes and a hole into position at the same time. Okay, and it is a bit tricky. So my technique for that is I basically connect the throttle rod first. Okay, get that out the way. That's done. So now we're floating. We've got a carburetor that's just floating, but it's connected to what it needs to be. And then basically what I do is I turn the back of the machine up in the air so I can physically see a lot better. Okay, I'm just going to move you a little bit like that, let's say. So this is how I'm doing it. So now I can see my 3 pipes that I've got to connect at the same time easily, and then I just manoeuvre it into position like so. Using my thumbs, I just press it down when I can see all 3 lined up, and then just push it home. I apologise that I can't let you see that with me, but that's the technique. Okay, connect the throttle rod, and then with the back of the machine, sort of, you can sit the machine on your bench like that, and then that's how I connect it, so I can see everything visually. Next thing, we've got our primer, okay, our little fuel pump. That has a little notch on its moulding that you probably can't see very well, one side. Okay, so you've got a circle, then a little notch poking out of it. That notch, you can see that circle has got a notch at the back of the machine. So again, so I can see it, I know which way where that notch has got to locate, so I'm pushing that tank, that primer into position. It has to connect with 2 pipes on the primer rubber housing there, and then you push it in until you get that little click, and then it's located and it's not going to fall out. Okay, see if you can see that. See the primer in position there. Where are we? Around there. You should be able to see. Okay, it's located and the 2 little lugs have popped out, so it's secure. And that's pretty much it. Now it's easy. You know, we can pop our choke. There we go. So we can see that's working now, that's connected. Alright, and now it's just a case of lining our air filter base up, which is like that and like that. That's that, and there we are. We know when we hit the trigger, when it's in its start position, you hit the trigger, so we know we're all in the right place. That's it. Okay, so just pay attention to that tiny little pipe, the impulse hose. Put a bit of grease around the hole in the handle that you have to push it through, and be careful with it. Okay, be careful with all of those pipes. No sharp screwdrivers. Just be patient, one step at a time. Watch this video a couple of times and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, good luck. Okay, hopefully that was helpful. You was able to follow it, and I apologise if a few of the shots were slightly out of focus, but I tried to cover everything. You know, the nitty gritty little bits that can cause you to stumble a little bit. Just take your time, and honestly, you will be able to do it. Just don't give yourself 10 minutes to do it. Okay, give yourself an hour, hour and a half at the end of your day or whatever on a Saturday, where there's no dramas, in the shed at the end of the garden, wherever it is. You know, just take your time, follow the steps, listen to my, you know, key little bits of information that I've learned, taking the things apart, putting them back together dozens and dozens and dozens of times. Okay, so I'm just trying to share my knowledge. All right, so please, or I say again, hit the like icon, subscribe and leave a comment. Okay, and thanks again for watching. I'll see you for now. Going to have my tea.